It's been a long time since I made a video like this, and I got a lot of really good questions, a lot of business questions, a lot of money questions, a lot of personal questions. So I picked the best ones. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy from Rebel Nutrition, and today I thought it would be really fun to just have a little sit down chit chat, answer a bunch of Q&A that I got from you guys on Instagram. It's been a long time since I made a video like this, and I got a lot of really good questions, a lot of business questions, a lot of money questions, a lot of personal questions. So I picked the best ones to get a good combo of everything. And then at the very end of this, so for those of you who don't know or who are new to my stuff, I help people in all different industries create their own online courses. So at the very end of this video, I'm gonna be going through a bunch of different industries: realtors, stay-at-home moms, nutritionists, nannies, traveling, investment bankers, copywriters, like all these different industries that people ask for ideas for their own profitable online courses. So I'm gonna be going over those at the end. Just throwing that out there. Those are like the main questions now that I get on Instagram. People are like, oh my gosh, do you have any topic ideas that I could create a course about as a stay-at-home mom? And I don't share them a lot on Instagram, so I'm gonna do them in today's video. But anyways, I thought it would be really fun to just start with kind of more fun, personal ones. So the first one is, why did you decide to leave Maui? So I lived in Maui a couple years ago with my husband. We lived as minimalists. That's actually where I started my business. So I'm not gonna get into the whole story about living as a minimalist in Maui right now. If you guys are interested in that, you can go back on my channel. There's like a tiny house tour and all that good stuff. But the reason why Eric, my husband, and I decided to leave Maui is that we just simply wanted to travel the world, and we had the ability and the freedom to do that once my business started taking off. Like, we had the money coming in. I could make money from wherever I was. We didn't have to abide by anybody else's work schedule or anything like that. And we didn't own a house, we didn't own a car. We didn't have pets. So we were like, we are the freest we're ever gonna be. Let's go travel the world. So that's really why. It's not that we didn't like Hawaii. I still love Maui, but we just wanted to go try something different. Okay, next question. How old are you? How long have you and Eric been married? So I'm 33 and I have been married for 10 years. So I got married, I was a little baby. I was married at 23, which is crazy now to think about. Okay, what part of your new house are you most excited for? So Eric and I just bought a house. Literally, we closed on it today. We're gonna go get the keys a little bit later this afternoon, which is mind-blowing to me. But I would say the thing that I'm most excited for is, number one, the space, because again, I have lived in tiny houses, like literal tiny houses, 100 and something square feet for many years, and traveled and lived in Airbnbs. So to now be moving into like a 4,000 square foot house just seems completely unreal. So the space, but then also the pool. I love being outside. So I would say those are the things that I'm like really excited for. I'm sure you guys are gonna be seeing tons of Instagram stories from the pool. Okay, how much money did you make on your very first online course? So my first online course was on the topic of adrenal fatigue. So it was a nutrition, like health related course. And you guys are gonna have to forgive me because I honestly do not remember exact amounts, but I know that it was around 5,000, which was not a lot at the time, but keep in mind, I had a very small audience back then. I had just started my business. And to me back then, $5,000 was a life-changing amount of money. It was enough for me to replace 2 months of my serving job. So at that point, after I launched that first course, I was like, I'm quitting my serving job. I'm going all in on online courses. And I honestly have not looked back since. And it is kind of crazy because when I share numbers right now about somebody making, like one of my students, for example, making $5,000 on their first launch of their course, I am still so excited for them because I know that that can make a life-changing difference in some people's life. And I think even if you start and you make $1,000, that's still amazing. So I'm just like always excited no matter what people start at, especially if they start with a small audience. Next question, what is your human design energy type? So I love human design. I am a generator. I'm a 6'2", that's my profile, generator with emotional authority. Love human design. Let me know in the comments below what your human design is, if you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, Google it. You will go down a rabbit hole. Okay, next question. How do you pay yourself? Do you just transfer what you want/need? So they mean like, how do I pay myself from my business account to my personal? So the answer is, I think maybe a year ago, I changed the structure of my business from just a regular LLC to an S Corp. And so when you change to an S Corp, usually you have to be making a certain amount of money for it to make sense tax-wise to switch over to an S Corp. But once you do that, basically you start to pay yourself a salary from your business. So that's what I do now. I essentially get a salary from Rebel Nutrition. So that's how I pay myself. It's automatic. Please don't ask me any questions about this because my accountant helped me set it up and it did all the legal stuff related to it. I can't really answer those questions for you guys, but you probably could Google the differences between like LLC and S Corp. And depending on what state you live in, there are different kind of rules and regulations about when it makes sense, like what threshold of income it makes sense to be an LLC versus an S Corp. Okay, next question. What do you do with all of your money in the bank? Do you invest it? Do you save it? Do you keep it? Got a lot of questions about what I do with my money, which I thought was really interesting. And I'm really curious about that with other people as well. So I'm happy to share. So I really do a combination of all the things. I save. First of all, so I have about 6 months of living expenses in a savings account. That's advice from my financial planner and my mom. That's just like savings to have just in case, you know, you have that if anything happens. Like, for example, I think it's kind of old school thinking of like, oh, if you lose your job, then you want to still have enough to take care of like your bills and your house payment and things like that. Obviously, when you work for yourself, like the fact of like losing your job, like that's probably not going to happen, but I think it still makes me feel better to have that. Invest. So I have a portfolio that I have like a financial advisor who invests in the stock market, so stocks and bonds for me. So that's like another form of investing. I reinvest back into my business. So when I'm paying like my assistant or I'm paying for new software or some other type of help or things like that, if I was paying for ads, I would view all things like that as like a reinvestment back into my business because it's something that's going to help me make more money. But that's just kind of a different form of investing. I just invested in the stock market because now I own a house. So I'm definitely like, and I'm sure you guys know this, I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that, but just having like all of your money just sitting in the bank is not the best idea because with inflation happening, it loses its value over time if it's just sitting in the bank. So that's why it makes sense to invest in a variety of other things like real estate, the stock market. Aside from like just your personal savings, it doesn't really make sense to have a lot more than that just sitting in the bank because it's not growing. So the goal is to obviously make our money grow even when we're not doing anything. And that's kind of the idea behind investing is like using that money to make more money. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about financial advice because it's not really my specialty, but it's just what I do. Okay, next question. Do you have to show your face and be public to have a successful online course? So I'm probably not the best person to ask for that because my whole business is like me. Like I am creating content on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and that's where all of my students come from because I'm not doing paid ads, for example. Like my whole audience is grown from organic content. So for me, I really do have to show my face, but again, that's my business model. Do I think it's possible to have a successful course without showing your face? I think anything is possible. I'm sure there's a way to do it. It's just not my expertise. So I don't really have a lot of advice there. I would say if you're starting from scratch and you don't have a budget to pay for ads and you do have yourself, like you can show up on a free social media platform like TikTok, like Instagram, like YouTube, wherever you want to be and create content. Even though it's scary, that's like your most powerful resource you have at the beginning of your business is your personality and the things that you know that you can turn into free content. So I'll just leave it at that. Next question, how do you get done when you work for yourself? I think that I'm just inherently a really goal-driven person. So when I have an idea of something that I want to accomplish in my mind, not even just something that I want to accomplish, but something that I want to accomplish that has deep meaning to me, then I will do whatever it takes to get there. And when I say deep meaning, so for my business, one of my like biggest priorities in life is having freedom. Having freedom in a variety of different ways. Financial freedom, location freedom, energetic freedom, where I don't have to listen to what anybody else is telling me to do. I literally wake up every morning and do whatever I want. All of those things mean so much to me that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get them, if that makes sense. So for you, if you're having trouble like sticking to something or getting shit done in your business, I think maybe what might be helpful is getting connected to like what your priorities are, even deeper than just making money. Like, what does making money actually mean to you? Does it mean that you'll be able to take care of your family? Usually these things go a lot deeper than just like a physical item that you want to buy. Like even maybe you're like, oh, I really want to buy a house. It's like, okay, yeah, you probably do want to buy a house, but what's even deeper than that? It's probably like a sense of security or safety or even accomplishment that you're really looking for. So getting really clear on what the deeper meaning is behind the thing that you're trying to do is probably going to make it a lot more easy to hit your goal and stay committed to the thing that you're working on. Should I focus on selling one online course or multiple online courses? If you're just getting started, I absolutely would focus on one online course, one topic. So let's say you're a nutritionist and your course is on healing acne with nutrition. I would get that course done, promote it, start selling it passively with an evergreen webinar, which is what I teach in my courses, build your audience around that topic, and use and leverage that one topic until you're making a steady income from it, until you're making passive income from it. And at that point where you have like a really good business and you're comfortable financially, you could pay an assistant and it's going well, I think at that point it definitely makes sense to create other courses if you want to, and then you can launch them at separate times and kind of warm up a new audience around a different topic related to nutrition or something completely different if you wanted to. And I think this is one of the things for me, which is why OCA, Online Course Academy, has become so successful to the level it has, is because for the last like 3 years, that's the only course that I've focused on selling. So now people really know me as like an online course teacher or expert. Again, I think it really just depends, but especially if you're starting out, I would really focus on one until it's doing well. Okay, next question. Did I miss the reveal of your famous neighbors? No, I have not announced it yet. So if you have missed this, if you're new to my stuff, where I currently live in West Hollywood, we have some very famous neighbors, and I really have been wanting to share who they are because I think if you guys are into like celebrity stuff like I am, you're gonna be like thrilled about this, but I didn't want to say publicly until we were moving out of this place because it's actually really easy to Google like where a celebrity lives. So if I share who lives next to us, you could just Google where I live. So that's why I haven't shared it. Favorite travel bags and luggage. I love Away luggage. This is the luggage and suitcase that I used all throughout Europe this summer. It's my fave. I have like the carry-on size and the checked bag size, love them both. I do anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 per month with sales calls. Oh my God. Do you have passive ideas for us? Yes. Oh my gosh, I cannot even imagine the amount of sales calls you would have to be doing to be making $50,000 to $100,000 a month. But yes, absolutely, you have come to the right place. What I would recommend, and I think this person, what she's selling on her sales calls is like a group program or a course. I could be wrong, but I believe that I chatted with her and that's what she said. So the part that she's trying to make passive is literally the part where she's getting on the phone and selling the people. To make this so much more passive, to make your life a million times easier, and actually to make more sales, you could create a webinar which essentially does everything that you do on your sales calls, but in an automated way that people can join any time of day, any time of night, and it's basically funneling them into your paid program. So instead of getting on the phone with you and you telling them, okay, this is what's included here, this is how you know it's for you, and here's how to enroll, and here, blah, blah, blah. They're doing all of that on your automated webinar, which is selling your program. So that's really key, in my opinion, to making more sales, leveraging your energy, making more passive sales, and freeing up a lot of your time as an entrepreneur instead of doing sales calls to be doing things that like you actually want to be doing, or growing your audience. Like you could be using that time to create social media content to reach more people. Whenever I'm thinking about a task that I'm doing, I always think about it in terms of, okay, is this only reaching one other person, or does this have the potential to reach hundreds of thousands of other people for the same amount of effort? And that's why I put so much time and effort into social media content, and the backside of my business is all passive, because anything that I'm doing on social media has the ability to reach hundreds of thousands of people with just this 30 minutes that I'm sitting down to make this video. Whereas I also could be chatting one-on-one on the phone with somebody who might or might not buy my course, but after that 30 minutes is over with them, like that's just, my energy has been wasted essentially. Does that make sense? So I would do a webinar. And by the way, if you're interested in learning more about webinars and passive income, I will link my free training that explains all of this and how to get started in the link below. How much proof do you need in your method before making an online course? So obviously, if you have past clients that you've seen or people that you've worked with, it's great to have testimonials and proof from those people. But what I will say is, even if you are your own best success story, or you're your only testimonial, like you are the only person you've ever gotten results for in, let's say, fitness or weight loss or breastfeeding or something like that, you can still use that as social proof that you know what you're talking about. And again, of course, it's better to have more testimonials, but if you're just getting started, you can absolutely use your own story to be your social proof that you know what you're talking about. Another house question, are you paying cash or loan for the house? So What I recently learned is that even if you can afford to pay for a house in cash, it actually makes more sense financially to get a loan, because even though you're paying interest on that loan, interest rates right now, I mean, by the time that people are watching this could be different, but interest rates right now, ours is only like 3%. So that means you're paying an extra 3% to borrow that money from the loan. But with borrowing that money from the loan, you then have that extra chunk of cash that you didn't put towards your house that you can invest in something like the stock market. And the stock market's average rate of return is 7% per year. So you actually are making more money by putting that down payment into something else versus into your house. What treadmill do you use? So you guys always see me on Instagram stories. I'm always walking and working. I have I think it's just a basic Peloton tread, but my husband built a desk onto it where I can put my laptop so that I can be working while I'm walking. So everybody always thinks it's like a special treadmill desk, but it's not. It's just a Peloton with a desk on top of it. Okay, I know your business is mostly passive, but do you ever get burnt out from social media? Yes. Yes, I absolutely do. I'm just like everybody else. Sometimes I want to throw my phone. I want to go move to a private island for a month, never talk to anybody again, and never have anybody contact me again. To be fully transparent, that's how I feel sometimes. It happens probably once a month for a couple of days. I'm sure you can guess around which time of the month that is, especially for women. But yes, I absolutely feel like that. And the best thing that I've found to do is just take a break. Don't go on social media, be outside in nature for a while, and then I usually feel better. Okay, so now I'm gonna go through a list of different niches and different industries that you guys asked me about on Instagram for different profitable potential course topics. And before I get into each of those, one thing I just wanna say is I can give you what I think are going to be profitable course topics in whatever industry, but ultimately, I'm not an expert in a lot of these industries. I can just give you my best guess. So that's number one. Number two, the best way to test the profitability of a course topic is, well, there's a couple different things you can do, and I teach all of these in Online Course Academy, but it's essentially if you have a good idea that you think is going to be profitable, you need to test that with your own audience, because they're going to give you better feedback, because they're the people that are going to be buying your course than what I can tell you. Again, you are the expert in your industry, so it's more important that you follow the profitability steps that I teach in OCA to figure out if the course is actually going to be profitable or not. Here we go. Let's go. Okay, course ideas for a self-love coach. No one walks around thinking, I need more self-love. Okay, that's a really good point. Nobody does walk around thinking, I need more self-love. But what you can think about as a self-love coach is what is the result of somebody who has more self-love? Think about actual tangible things that a self-love course could help somebody achieve. So the first thing that came to mind for me and my past experience is self-love. I'm thinking about body image type issues. So maybe your self-love course is specifically targeted to people with body image issues, and what is the end result of that going to look like? So the content of your course might not really vary that much. It's just the way that you're marketing it. Maybe it's for body image issues. Maybe it's for having better relationships or marriages. Thinking about a really specific, tangible end result and then marketing the course that way as it relates to self-love. You can still keep the self-love content the same. That's gonna be so much more profitable than a course on how to find self-love in 30 days. People are gonna be like, why do I need that? But if it's about overcoming body image issues or something in 30 days, people who struggle with that are gonna be like, oh, she's talking to me. Spray tan artist. Okay, so two ways you could go with a lot of these service-based industries is, number one, teaching somebody something related to spray tanning that they can do at home on their own. So you can think about this as business to business or business to customer. So business to customer as a spray tan artist would be here's how to do this spray tan thing at home, DIY it on your own so that you don't have to come in and see me. So that's one suggestion. Number two, business to business, is teaching other spray tan artists something. How to build a spray tan business, how to get spray tan clients from Instagram, anything related to the business, the marketing side for other spray tan artists. Those two things I think can work really well. Okay, next one, ideas for realtors. Business to customer, business to business. Business to customer, as a realtor, you're thinking about the people who generally are your customers are the people who are buying houses from you or using you as their realtor, or people who are selling their house and using you as their realtor. So thinking about things that You may be talked to about every single client and customer that you have. Maybe you feel like a broken record about the things that you're having to go over with them. Those potentially could be good course topics, or like things that you as the expert think that buyers or sellers need to know before buying or selling. Great option. Again, business to business. Realtors, like what's something else that you could teach other realtors? Maybe you've been in the game for 10 years and what do you wish that you would have known when you were first starting out as it relates to finding clients, networking, making money, making your life easier, or making things more passive for you so that you aren't on the phone all day. All great ideas for realtors. Okay, the next one is course ideas for a copywriter that isn't teaching someone how to write copy. So if you're a copywriter who wants to create an online course, I really think the best way to go would be picking a specific industry and teaching them how to write copy for their business. So maybe you're a copywriter and you dabble in photography on the side. You could create a copywriting course that teaches photographers how to write copy that will get them clients. So how to write Instagram posts, how to write emails, how to write a sales page that's going to get photographers more photography clients. That's a good example. But her question specifically is for somebody who doesn't want to teach someone how to write copy. I would say maybe copywriting is not the course you want to do. Maybe think about other things that you're interested in, other step-by-step results that you could help somebody achieve based on your own life experience, based on education that you've had, based on just your own self-taught knowledge. Like everybody has something valuable to teach, whether they've learned it in a formal institution or whether they've learned it through their own life experience, it can be turned into a course. Okay, breastfeeding consultant. This is a very interesting one because I don't know very much about this at all. What I would say is it sounds like this person already is doing breastfeeding consults with people in a one-on-one setting. So to her, I would ask her, what struggles are they having? What things are you helping them overcome? What topics or step-by-step things are you having to repeat over and over and over again to every single person? All of those things would be a great idea for a course. And again, just focusing on the end result. I'm assuming a breastfeeding consultant, the goal is to make more milk so that you're able to breastfeed your child. So maybe a course on increasing milk supply or getting your baby to latch. I don't even know. I don't even know the terminology with that, so I'm not even gonna go there. Thinking about it that way could be really helpful. Next question was a nutritionist. So she wants to offer the same value that she offers in one-on-ones, but in a course format. Again, exactly the same. I know that as a nutritionist, you can help everybody. You can help basically anybody who has any sort of chronic condition or anything. They can come to you and you could give them like a nutrition plan that would help them achieve those goals, right? With a course, it's a little bit different because it's not going to be customizable to every single person. So what you have to do as a nutritionist is decide on one desired end result. Even though it's going to exclude some people, it's going to be so much more profitable if you choose one desired end result and create a nutritional protocol around that and sell your course marketed to that one subset of people. For example, let's say you have a nutrition protocol for people who are dealing with like chronic pain. Okay, that's just an example that came to my mind, like chronic back pain, let's say. Again, something that I've struggled with. Maybe you know like a nutritional and supplement protocol that would help ease chronic pain. You can step-by-step walk somebody through everything that they would need to do nutritionally, lifestyle-wise, supplement-wise, whatever, to heal their chronic pain. And again, knowing that you're going to be excluding a lot of people who don't have chronic pain, this is not going to be the course for them. But it's also kind of genius because if your topic is niche and specific enough where it is excluding people, some people, it means that it's niche enough. It actually means that the opposite is true, that as soon as somebody who your course is right for sees that sales page, they're immediately going to be like, oh my God, I need this. How do I enroll? Versus just a 30-day nutrition course. Again, it's just kind of vague. People are gonna look at it and be like, this might be for me, but does she really know how to help my specific condition? So that's really the value of choosing one specific outcome and going with that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think a lot of people think like, well, there isn't just one thing that I'm super passionate about. And I'm like, you don't have to be. Whatever you choose to do as an entrepreneur, yes, hopefully you love it and it brings you joy. And for the most part, you're enjoying what you're doing. But do I wake up every single day and think to myself, oh my God, like I'm so passionate about online courses? I mean, I am, but there are also a lot of other things that I'm passionate about. And I don't necessarily want to turn every single passion into a business. You know what I mean? So I think just choosing the best, most profitable, most helpful thing that you can think of is a good place to start. And again, you can always pivot in the future. Life coaches. This one's kind of similar to nutritionists because again, there's probably a lot of different types of clients that come to you for different things that they're trying to help achieve in their life. You know, as a life coach, you can help a lot of different types of people. For this to be the most effective, I think you need to choose one desired end result that you can help somebody with your life coaching skills. So maybe that means land their dream job, manifest more money, find their dream career, like whatever that is, get really specific with the outcome and how you're going to market the course. And then again, the inside of the course, the meat of what you're teaching somebody, maybe it's actually pretty similar. It's just the way that it's positioned to achieve a certain type of goal that is really important. Okay, nanny ideas. So again, B2C, B2B, business to client. Who are your clients as nannies? They're families probably. What is something that you would want to teach them? Maybe how to hire the right nanny, something like that. Business to business. What is something else? I think this one would be way more profitable personally, is what can you teach other nannies? If you are a successful self-employed nanny, you probably have lots of clients. You probably create your own schedule. Actually, I have no idea, but just throwing that out there. But what is something valuable you could teach to other nannies? How to find the best clients, how to find more clients via social media, how to get referrals, networking, something related to taking care of kids, keeping kids entertained. Like any of those things, I think could be really, really, really profitable. Okay, investment bankers. There is so much you know as an investment banker that I don't know that I want to know as it relates to making more money, saving more money, preparing for the future. So again, think about a priority that your clients have and working backwards, how are you gonna get them there? But again, it's about being specific. So not saying you have a course on investment banking, because honestly, I don't really even know what that means. Like, I probably need it, but I don't know what that means. But if you're saying how to save for retirement as a self-employed individual, yes, I will buy that. Stay-at-home mom but doesn't want to teach homeschooling. What are things that you wish you would have known before becoming a stay-at-home mom? What systems do you have in place now that would have made your life so much easier, would have helped you save time, save money, save energy, save pain from the start? All of those things are so valuable to somebody who's becoming a stay-at-home mom. Or maybe it's like relationship tips of like being a stay-at-home mom and making it work with your partner. Again, the tips alone are not going to create a profitable course, but it's the way that you market them. What are those tips ultimately helping somebody achieve as a stay-at-home mom that they want to achieve? What is the value behind that thing? I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm out of time. You guys, if this was helpful for you talking about different course ideas in different industries, let me know in the comments below or reach out to me on Instagram. I love hearing from you individually, just like what was helpful for you. And if you're interested in Online Course Academy, if you're interested in making passive income with your own online course, I have a free masterclass link below that will talk you through everything, including how to choose a profitable course topic, how to build an audience, and also how to start selling your course passively with a webinar. And then of course, all about Online Course Academy and how to enroll at the best price. So I will see you at the webinar. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A and thank you so much for watching. Bye.